Smells good in this grow room. What's going down, everybody? This is your boy, Big Drewski, and welcome to Space Bucket Growing with Drewski. Hi! What's good, people? Boy, you know what it is. So today's episode, properly titled Foil Tape. Why didn't I think of that? I'm dead serious. Why did I not think of that? So I'm going through. Shout out to our newest sponsor. Our one sponsor for right now. We got the whole year covered. Thank you. Rain Man Micro Space Bucket Grows. Was good. Y'all don't even know, man. Ace buckets are going to be the new wave because of guys like the companies like that are so innovative and creative, and they produce quality builds of space buckets that are just amazing. If you go to their Etsy store, you will see something that is totally way more efficient, way more quality, just way more put together than mine is. Mine is off the cuff. It's always getting redesigned, and that's because I'm still learning about this process. But if you go and click on the Mostly Safe 8 Instagram link on my page, or you follow them on Instagram, please follow them, and then go to their Etsy store. You know what I'm saying? Check them out, please, because you have no clue about how they have just changed the game on how I build my buckets. And the reason why this one is titled aluminum tape, foil tape, why didn't I think of that, is because of this one reason right here. And I'll let y'all know in a hot second. So, if you go to my Instagram and you see Mostly Safe 8, search them up. Mostly Safe Micro Grows. I'm telling you, you're going to find out why I didn't even think of this whole idea. And it was something like mad simple. Instead of me using a mylar or a reflective material and glue and a roller, and all those, a lot of tools. You needed a lot of tools to make sure, like, your mylar laid flat, and you had to let it set. I taped my whole thing down. But then I went to Mostly Safe's Space Bucket Micro Grow website, and I see the Space Bucket LED spacer, and the Rain Man. The Rain Man with the sea green screen. The PC fans, the UFO LED, and then the reflective material comes in. Foil tape. Like, how did I not even think about the foil tape when I was walking into, Dollar General, the dollar store, Wally World, places of that nature, when I was going to go get my glue, and I was looking for a hot glue gun, and I had to go get the black duct tape. I didn't even think about using foil tape as a reflective material until I saw this, because I'm looking at the LED spacer that's on their website. That's for $124.99. But if you're growing in a space bucket and you don't want to build your own, it is so totally worth it. The bucket is all lined up with reflective material, the foil tape, nice and layered on there. Looks really efficient. And then on the inside, he's got the LEDs strapped in with the zip ties instead of having to glue it down or something like that. Just poke a couple of holes, bang, bang, drill your little hole to get your power out. good to go. And that's got to be like the dopest upgrade I've seen because of this one thing. You can go white light, you can go the red and blue full spectrum for growing. Man, something I wouldn't have thought about because I was just going to stick to reflective material, a hope and a prayer, and I was going to get that going. But after going to seeing how efficient they are, they gave me the idea to revamp my spacers. And so tomorrow, shout out to our sponsor once again, I am going to go get foil tape. I'm going to go get a light timer. We've got a year subscription going, and then we'll still have some leftover to make things pop. So this is going to lead to something awesome, I believe, because I've also learned a lot about my own space bucket and my own grow. And speaking of that, we'll be back in a hot second, and I'll tell you guys about the new growth and what I've learned about growing in a space bucket and clipping your fan leaves like a dummy. So, as y'all know, I made the grave mistake of clipping my lower fan leaves. I clipped 2 of them at first because they were yellow and they were dying, and I didn't feel that they were promoting any healthy growth. And then I was reading about thinning and topping and LST, and I clipped 4 more fan leaves, so a total of 6. That's 3 different nodes, and I clipped them off. A couple of days later, my AC blew out. The heat got to it, kind of killed it a little bit, and now I'm noticing on the bottom, it's not really killing off any of the old leaves. It's just like the tips are dying off. The tips died and got crinkled, but the whole leaf is still there, and it's not like dry or anything like that, and it's not totally wilted out, but it seems like the heat really did play a factor for my AC going out, and it really messed up some of these plants here. But there are some concerns that I do have, especially with like the yellowing that went throughout all the leaf spots where the other nodes were. I feel like those fan leaves were promoting healthy growth, because like on some of these other ones where I've got one like heavily wilted, not even heavily, like I said, the tip is dried out, the other leaves are growing phenomenally fine. And that's like that on all the other nodes, to where I've got some really, really healthy fan leaves on those. And then the other smaller ones, the like baby ones, they just did not survive. And so it made me really, really weary of temperature control. And now I'm looking, and I've got like a couple of tips on the top are yellow, but it's not like the whole tip. It's really like the tip. You know what I mean? Like that very, very top edge pointy piece is a little lighter green. It's got a tad bit of yellow on it, but that looks like light burn to me, because this thing shot up quick again, and I got to build another spacer. But hopefully tomorrow, as some time comes in and I go get all my materials and redo all my reflectiveness here, that I build another spacer, because the CFL lights on my lid actually hang down, and so they take up like the width of a whole spacer. So instead of having what I call 2 spacers on there, I'm really going to have 3, because one's light in my eyes, just for height reasons and everything like that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hook up with the partner Big Stacks 510 tomorrow as well. We're going to get that going, because we have another grow coming
And that's thanks to our sponsor. We're going to have another bucket getting built here. We're going to hook up with Lotus Eater Organics as well. The owner has some buckets for us to pick up. And we're going to really, really dig in on this new bucket. And I'm going to take some of the ideas that I've seen on the internet from spacebuckets.com. And I'm going to apply that. And then I'm going to apply the foil tape idea that I got from our sponsor. And I'm going to really line this bucket up because I can't stand seeing freaking ripped up Mylar because of taking off and putting on the spacer when I got to plant or when I got to water the plant because it's gotten so big. I've got to like move leaves around and things like that. So the other thing I was planning on doing, and this kind of gave me the inspiration to do it, was to have a gravity feed on there as well. So when I feed the plant, I don't have to really like mess with the bucket too much. I'm going to drill a hole in one of the spacers. I'm going to get a nice tube, like a hose. I'm going to put it in and swirl it around so that it actually hits the bottom of the pot with the soil, which is actually the space bucket. There is no pot inside. The pot is the bucket itself, and that's where I think I messed up too because of where the spacing is. And after I do all of that and attach the light timer, from there it's flipped. It's going 12-12. It's been on 18.6 for a little bit over a month. Not even a little bit over a month. It's like a month and a few days. I started it a month ago on the 21st. It's May 25th now. So I'm really not tripping about the time. A month. And I'm going to flip it over in the flower. And I already know the bottom leaves are going to fuck me up. But these inner nodes here that are now freshly growing, and they're prospering. Boy, I'm telling you. I've got new growth all over the place, especially on the inner nodes. But I still don't have anything like, oh no, I don't have anything that'll tell me the sex of this thing. Like, it's just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. I don't see no pistils or hairs or ball sacks or anything like that. I just see a whole lot of leaves and a nice thick cola, but I wanted to get stronger. So what I'm going to do is pick up some Super Thrive from Stacks, hopefully, and some new seeds. Maybe we can get some sherbet, some gelato, Blue Dream, or something like that going to where the indoor grow will really, really take effect when I get this new bucket. We're also going to just germ like we did the normal way. This one was straight from seed in soil. In a Circle K little cup at the bottom. I cut out the whole thing and let it germ. And that's when I encountered my first set of problems was I let it grow a little bit too much before I had to transplant it. And that's what this is looking like right now. It looks like I'm going to really have to take out all the soil, fit it into a pot that will fit inside this bucket, and then slide the spacers on top. Fill up the soil bucket all the way up to the top and go from there. So that looks like that's going to progress that way. And hopefully I see some better results. Like I said, I'm going to repot it. I'm going to let it sit for about a day. I'm going to redo all the lining of the Mylar and see how that goes and see how reflective that is. Because if that looks like a better situation than what I have now, then my space bucket game is going to be off the chain, and I'm really going to be hitting up duct tape or any other tape companies that will have us and see if we can get a few rolls. You know what I'm saying? I want to get like some yards of that stuff and really, really go in with this next bucket and this current 2.0. 3.0 is going to be I think 3.0 should be the final experiment, but I don't know yet. But, you know, you never know. You never know. So, everybody, once again, thanks for listening. Hopefully I didn't rant too much. Once again, I want you guys to check out our new sponsor, because we are sponsored by Mostly Safe Micro Grow. You can check them out on Etsy. You can check them out on Instagram. You can, always follow us, because we will be plugging them every post. You saw the new photo that we dropped up for the announcement. So, folks, once again, this is your boy Big Drewski with Elevated Lifestyle, presenting to you Space Bucket Growing with Drewski, sponsored by Mostly Safe Micro Grow. And that's our show for today. We'll be back tomorrow once I go shopping. I'll let you guys know all about that. You'll see the pictures on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow What Are We Doing _podcast. Just spelled just like that. What Are We Doing, all one word, _podcast. Follow us on Instagram, and then we'll give you all our other links. We're on Google+. We have a community on Google+. We are in the Grow Weed Easy forum. Shout out to growweedeasy.com, because that's what inspired me to go to spacebuckets.com and do this. And we'll be going from there. So everybody, thank you very much. And we'll holla at y'all tomorrow.